This review is for the CBA that you guys are going to take tomorrow. It is the first CBA of the year, and we got to make sure that we get a good grade because our grades are due this weekend. So whatever grade you get is going to go in the grade book. So let's start with problem number 1. We're looking at this graph. And we're answering the questions. It says Joanna looked at this graph. So look at this graph right here. It says that Joanna looked at it below and said that the domain is this and that the range is this. Is Joanna correct or not? Where did Joanna make a mistake? What's wrong with this? What is domain? Domain is the X. And range is the Y. So you're writing this on your paper. So if domain is the X and range is the Y, where did she make a mistake on that problem? On domain, which is supposed to be the X, she put a Y. So she messed up on the domain. She messed up on domain. The domain above is not correct because there is a Y instead of X. What about the range? How did she mess up the range? Range is the Y, right? So it goes from the smallest number, which is 0, right here, all the way to the biggest number, which is 360. So from 0 to 360, that's what she wrote, 0 to 360. So what's wrong with it? The signs. Okay, so what's wrong with the sign? No, this one. What's wrong with these two signs? Or with one of the signs? This one is supposed to have a line underneath, guys, because it's equal to 360 up here. So the range is supposed to say 0 less than or equal to Y less than or equal to 360. It's supposed to have a line underneath. Because if it doesn't have a line underneath, that means it's an open circle. If you look at the pink sheet on my word wall, the only ones that don't have lines underneath are the ones with open circles or dashed line. And I don't see an open circle here or here. And I don't see a dashed line either. Okay? So let's keep going. It says, according to the graph, what happened at 18 minutes? So right here, 18 minutes, what happened? You have to read the titles. What happened at 18 minutes? $18 minutes, isn't that 0? 0 feet. So the height above the canyon floor, so we're going to be at 0 here, so we're on the floor of the canyon. So it's at 0 feet, which is the floor of the canyon. Okay, you're at 0 feet. You reached the floor. Okay, what about the y-intercept? So up here, the y-intercept is 360. What happens here? That's where you started, and that is the highest that they were. They were at 360 feet when they started hiking. Okay? So they started, you're writing this in a complete sentence, they started the height at 360 feet above ground or above the cannon floor. They started the hike at 360 above the cannon floor. Esto es donde comenzaron. Comenzaron con 360 pies. Okay? So you just write it in a complete sentence. I'm not going to write it for you. Okay, so they gave you the inequalities. I want you to put these in Desmos, even though they have it right here. So if you know how to plot these points, then you don't have to graph it. But a lot of us are not really good at graphing points. So let's go ahead and put this one and this one in Desmos. And then we're going to add a table for these 3 points. So write it down. You add table. We are typing y less than or equal to 2x plus 2. And this plus 2. And in the second one, we're adding y greater than 1/3 divided by 3 x minus 1. Okay, this is what the picture on your paper looks like, right? And I need to add a table. So add a table for those points. Thor's point says that the solution is at -3, 3. Is Thor correct? No. Thor is only on the blue shaded area. Who's next? Hulk says that it's at 3, 2. That the solution is at 3, 2. Is Hulk correct? Yes. And then Thanos says that it's at 6, -2. Is Thanos correct? No. So the only one that's correct is Thor, and you can add these points to your graph. Okay? Add the points to the graph. So I have -3, 3. That's Thor. Hulk is 1, 2, 3, 2. And then Thanos is 6, -2. So who is correct? Hulk. Why? Because he's on both colors, the blue and the red. And in your paper, it's the darker shaded area. What can you tell me about the ordered pair -3, -3? So -3, -3. What can you tell me about that? It's outside the solutions of both inequalities. This is not a solution for the red or for the blue inequality. So not a solution for either. And don't forget, you can watch this video later on just to study and to refresh your memory if you forgot what I was saying. Problem number 3. What is the 0 and x-intercept for each function below? First of all, what does the word 0 mean? 0 means what? X what? It's not just the x. What is it? Jackie? The x-intercept. So when they're asking us for 0, we're looking for the x-intercept. Okay? And the y-intercept is on the y-axis. So we're looking for something that's on the x-axis. Where does it cross? And on the y-axis, where does it cross? So we're going to type all of these up. I want you to take a look at letter D. That's supposed to be negative 2.5x. So not an S. Make sure you change it to a 5. And we're going to type all of these in decimals, and we're going to go look for the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So go ahead. Okay, so for problem number 3A, you would type it in here. Y equals 2x minus 8. I already know that the y-intercept is going to be negative 8 because look, it says negative 8 right there. But you go over here and you click on it. So this one's the x-intercept because it's on the x-axis. And then this one down here is the y-intercept because it's on the y-axis, 0, negative 8. Letter B is asking for x equals negative 3. So this one only has an x-intercept. It only has a 0. It does not have a y-intercept. So for my y-intercept here, for the 0 I would put negative 3. For the y-intercept I would put none. And you could do negative 3 comma 0 if you want. This one was 4 comma 0. And this one was 0 comma negative 8. Okay, keep going. Letter C. Letter C, you type f of x. F of x equals negative 4x plus 12. So my x-intercept is right here. You click on it, 3 comma 0. The y-intercept is up here. Click on it, 0, negative 12. So again, this is my 0. X-intercept is my 0. So write those down. And then letter D. Remember we changed it. It's f of x equals negative 2.5, not an S, 2.5x plus 3,000. So you just have to zoom out until you see it. So right here, that's my x-intercept, my 0, which is 1,200, and my y-intercept is 3,000, and I knew it was going to be 3,000 because it says plus 3,000. That's my y-intercept. Okay, let's go to the back page.